friends, welcome back, or welcome if you are new here to my channel. My name is Caroline. I like to do knitting, crochet and all other types of crafts on my channel. And today I wanted to walk you through my most worn items in my me-made wardrobe. I'm starting with new items and working my way down, starting at what I finished most recently. And that is my granny hexagon cardigan. This one right here. So this is my hexagon cardigan. It is crocheted, as you can probably tell. I made this with all of my cotton scraps that were roughly Aran/worsted weight. I made a size large in this one. I was very much lacking cardigans in my wardrobe because most of my wardrobe is knitted instead of crocheted. But the thing with cardigans and knitting is that you do a lot of purling, which is not my favorite. So I just never really made cardigans. The fun thing about crochet is that it doesn't really matter which way you are facing, like wrong side and right side are both the same. Yeah, I love this cardigan. I really had a lack of cardigans in my wardrobe, so this one is already been worn a ton. And I think cardigans are just nice because you can throw them on whenever. Honestly, this one turned out way better than I even expected when I started on this one. So yeah, really happy with this granny hexagon cardigan. I personally use the pattern by Kelly Phelps. As far as patterns go, great, very clear. Yeah, I had no issues working this up. I did do a little bit of an alteration on the cuffs. I decreased a little more than the pattern suggested, and instead of doing double crochets on the cuff, front post and back post double crochets, I used front and back half double crochets. I think that's the only thing that I did alter. Yeah, great pattern, and I've been very much enjoying this one. Next up, we have my Arrow sweater. Also, if you see ends, no you don't. I am particularly bad at weaving in my ends, and yes, I still wear my items like this. Judge away, sue me. Now, because this is quite new, same with the cardigan, I haven't worn it tons, but I have been wearing it quite frequently since I've casted it off, so that's why I'm including them in this video. I might just be a little less strict on these first couple of items because I haven't worn them that much yet, so maybe some flaws haven't stood out to me yet. But this is my Arrow sweater. I made this one size larger than the recommended size for me because I wanted quite an oversized fit, and I am really happy with the fit of this one. The only thing I kind of dislike is the collar. I wish it was a little bit tighter around my neck. For me, it's a bit open for my taste, but really it's really not that bad. That's just if I'm being really nitpicky. I used the Drops Fiesta with a Hobby Friends Kit Silk mohair held together. The Drops Fiesta is in the color 22 and the mohair was in the color 7. And yeah, this is just a really nice kind of sweatshirt vibe. As far as alterations goes, I think I didn't really alter anything other than the size up. Oh, and the neck, obviously. The pattern has a 1x1 rib, thicker neckband, but I wanted a bit more of a sweatshirt vibe, so I did a knitted folder collar instead, which is why the neckline is a little bit wider, because I don't have as thick as a neckband as was intended. If I had thought about that, I might have made the neck hole a little smaller at the beginning, but again, I don't mind that much. It's just me being nitpicky, really. But yeah, as far as pattern goes, I am not the biggest fan of the way petite knit writes their patterns. It is still very clear, and if you are used to petite knit patterns, it's very easy to follow. Then we have my Sabai top. This is the second version of this pattern with the kind of raw over edging. I think this is very chic. I like the sort of boat neck vibe of this tank top, and it's a black tank top, so this is one of those basics that I will just wear quite a lot. If you see me make this, you know I used two types of cotton yarn. You can see the stripe, but the thing is, this second section with the different yarn is the section that kind of folds under it, so you don't actually really see it when you wear it, and also I'm not too concerned about it. The only thing is, I made this with Drops Muscat, and this yarn, well, I think it's partially because it's black and it just does that, but it's also, this yarn is quite silky in a way. It does just attract literally everything. It doesn't help that I have a black and white cat. That's the only thing, but it's really nice and soft. I do quite like the drops muscat. I made a size 4 in this one. I, by the way, am usually a size large, sometimes a size extra large, depending on the pattern designer, but yeah, this is a size 4. This pattern, as far as I remember, was very clear. This was, I think, the first pattern I made from this particular designer, but I don't think I had any problems working this up. I think it was pretty clear what I wanted from you. This, I genuinely think, is my most worn item in my wardrobe that I made myself, and that is this crochet cardigan. This one was inspired by the Eternal Seasons cardigan by You Makes. I did not follow the pattern. I'm kind of just made this up myself, but if you want a cardigan that looks like this, the Eternal Seasons cardigan by You Makes, it's basically this cardigan, but a little different. So I would guide you towards that pattern. This one is so soft, nice and warm when it has to be, but not too warm, because it's a cotton merino mix by Drops. And I don't know, this is just, again, one that I throw over whenever I'm a little bit chilly, and it's such a good basic. And I really do like this color on my complexion. I think it looks good. For the buttons, I just got buttons that had a similar color to the jacket because I didn't want them to stand out too much. Technically, all of this is an alteration. I just self-drafted this, but yeah, this is definitely one of my most worn items, and so far it's been wearing really well. Then we have 3 projects in one. It kind of all surrounds this hat. It is called the Winter Cabled Hat, and I made this in a small, the second size, with Frog Mouse Studio silk mohair and Frog Mouse Studio twisty sock. I held the mohair double, and I mean, I think this hat speaks for itself. It's so pretty. I made this in the beginning of 2024, so I can't quite remember if I did any alterations, but I don't believe I did. And then with this comes my Sophie shawl. This one I made with Hand Spun by Mirta, and it has kind of the similar coloring. So this is kind of just a set. I didn't do any alterations on the Sophie shawl. I don't believe I did. So these kind of go together. They're not exactly the same color, as you can tell, but you know, when this is happening, no one will know. So elegant. And then I literally casted these off yesterday, so I haven't ever worn them before, but I can imagine this one will be worn a lot with this set. This is a Free Pearl Soho pattern. I think they're called stockinette hand warmers. I held the Sokion double and 1 strand of mohair on this one, because that's all the mohair I had left. And yeah, these just go really well together, and now I have a full set for the upcoming winter, and I'm very excited about it. Alterations, I didn't do a thumb on this one because I just didn't really see the point, to be honest, and I'm lazy, and I made them a lot shorter than the pattern instructed because I didn't have that much yarn. That's this one. Also, I made the first size in this, which is technically not entirely true because I cast on 38 stitches instead of 40, but other than that, I did follow the pattern. Next up is my Luma sweater, which is the sweater I'm currently wearing. It's stunning. I made this with Hobby Friends wool in the size 5, and the brown is the shade Americano, the white is the off-white shade, the green is sage, and the purple is called lavender. Now I did do some alterations with this one. I didn't quite like the last colorwork section, so I just repeated the leaf section again, and I did colorwork dots in between each section, which I think was a little different as well. It's been a while since I made this one. And then I didn't fold over the neckline. It's still long, so I can wear it both ways. I can wear it like this, or I can fold it inside and wear it like a double folded neckline. Hold on, like this. And I don't know, I just really like this one. I really like the colors. I got inspired by another knitter's version of the sweater, and I just really liked it, so I kind of just went with it. I also did some alterations on the sleeves with the colorwork. I can't quite remember what the alterations were that I did other than that it was the colorwork alteration. I think maybe I added a dot row in between the colorwork, but this is what it looks like. So you can compare it to the original. I'm sorry if you're situated a little bit differently, but my card was full. This pattern was my first Sari Nordlund pattern, great pattern. I actually was really surprised by the fit. I didn't think a circular yoke like this would fit as well as it does, but it's really, really nice. I like the two different German short rows sections that you have, and this sweater just fits exceptionally well. I was very surprised by that. So honestly, can't recommend this pattern enough. It is popular for a reason. I love it. Then I know this is not technically a wardrobe piece, but I had to talk about this one because this is my prized possession, okay? And I will take every opportunity I get to talk about this one, because the time that went into this needs to be acknowledged whenever I can. This is my Quilty Pleasure blanket. It is a blanket I designed myself in collaboration with Hobby, so this is a pattern that's on the Hobby website, and it uses their extra fine merino wool. Lovely yarn, incredibly soft. My cats absolutely go nuts with this one. They love it. As soon as I put it down somewhere, they are sad. And I mean, it's really hard to show because it's massive. It's a king size blanket, but I mean, I hope you kind of get the gist. It's just so good. Then my next one is my T number 1 by My Favorite Pins Knitwear. This is my T number 1, and I originally made this in a beige yarn, the Hobby Black Friday Cotton 8/4, but as you can see, it's not beige anymore because I dyed this over with some dye. I made this in a size 5, and this is a really good throw over, chill, relax type of garment, and that's exactly what I use it for. I don't wear it out of the house that much, but inside of the house, this is like one of my go-tos in the warmer months. It's a bit too cold to just throw over and be done with at the moment, but once it starts warming up again, which we still need to go through winter, but once it starts warming up again, this will be one of my most worn items because it's just nice, it's comfy, it does look kind of put together, and I like this one. I don't think I did any alterations on this one either. So. Then this is also one of my prized possessions, and it is my Ingrid sweater. If you are an Ingrid sweater connoisseur, then you may notice that mine is a little bit different because I used DK weight yarn. Did I actually? I don't know. My yarn was a lot thinner than the recommended yarn. I had a 26 by 35 gauge. The original gauge is 20 by 30. So not only did I have to make a larger size to accommodate for the stitch gauge, I also had to play around with the row gauge. So what I did, I made a 3XL to get a medium size. So for the depth of the yoke, I had to add one colorwork section more than the original pattern. So the double muss stitch section was added into the yoke instead of the round, or like the body. And then I believe I added some rows. Maybe I actually added an entire colorwork section on the body. I'm not entirely sure anymore, but I definitely added some more repeats as well as on the sleeves. I did do a different neckline. This is the neckline modification by Kiki W. Yao, and this is made with Hobby Highland wool. It does have some peeling, but again, this is one of my most worn sweaters, and it's really not that bad. It's quite minimal. This yarn is in the color 22, by the way. Yeah, I freaking love my Ingrid sweater. Also a really fun knit to make because of the sections, and it works up really quickly, in my opinion. You know, you just want to get to the next section. Then we kind of go to some summer wear with my Camisole number 4, and this is my second version of the Camisole number 4. I made this one before in the Pure Silk by Knitting for Olive, but I really didn't quite like that version, because I don't really know, I just didn't like that version. It was a little bit too short as well, so I made this one in the Black Friday Cotton 8/4 by Hobby, which this is the color my T number 1 used to be. I was thinking of dyeing this one that color as well, but I didn't want to add even more fabric to that dye because it was already turning grey. And honestly, as a tank top, I don't really mind this color that much. I made this in a medium, and I did lengthen this top a little bit, and I still think it's kind of too short, which is a bummer. Like, it's definitely more wearable, and I wear this one still quite a lot in the summer, but I did kind of wish it was longer. But other than that, I like the stitch pattern, I like how flowy it is, and yeah, I do really enjoy this pattern. It's also really fun to make this pattern. Then, I know I said recently that I don't wear my knitted socks a whole lot, but if I wear my knitted socks, it's this pair, which is kind of why it looks like it does. This is made with Twisty Sock by Frogmouth Studio. This is the sock I made. I like my socks not to be too long because I'm an ankle sock girly, to be honest. I did twisted rib on the ribbing, an afterthought heel, and other than that, it's just a very simple sock. I freaking love this yarn. I made this in the beginning of 2024, and I've worn them quite a lot since then, because this is, I think, the only pair of knitted socks that I actually do wear quite a lot. And they are kind of pilly, but they've turned so soft. It's great. Like, this yarn is already softer than when you have it in the hank, when you first knit it up. And then over time, it just becomes softer and softer and softer. And it peels a little bit, but it really isn't that bad. And it does hold up quite well. So I am a big fan of this yarn, as you probably already know, because a lot of my projects are in this yarn. And these are the one pair of socks that I do wear quite frequently, so they deserve a spot in this little video. This is my Likity, and this was, I think, my first project that I consistently wore after I finished it. You can't really, I mean, it's quite hard to tell, but it has some lace work. And I made this in a size medium, but I skipped one pattern repeat for a more crop look, and I immediately added the ribbing to the sleeves without adding a repeat. This one is also made in Drops Muscat, and so it has the same issue. It attracts all the dust and hair, which does mean that this one has been washed quite often. I even just washed it in the washer because it's 100% cotton. I'm not too worried about my cottons. I am really careful with my wool sweaters, but cottons I don't really care about. They just go into the washing, and I mean, it held up really well. And yeah, this is also just one that you throw over and don't think about, and I think that's a theme in my most worn knitted items. As soon as I can just throw it on and then I don't have to think about it and it's comfy, I am down. That's all I need in my knitwear. Alright, and then this one. I think this one deserves a spot in this video because this is one that I used to wear tons. Unfortunately, I've outgrown this one, but this is my Camisole number 2. I made this in a size small. I'm definitely not a size small anymore, so I unfortunately have outgrown this one, but I used to wear this one so much when it still fitted me, and I am thinking about maybe making one of these again for summer, just because I wore it so much. This is Lana Grossa Milo White 100 Cotton Bamboo. It is originally a sock yarn, I believe, so it is quite stretchy, and I just really like this color. It's such a good basic, and honestly, this might be a yarn, if it's still available, I would probably like to buy this yarn again for my new version, because I do just really like the way it looks. And then I would probably frog this version and use the yarn for the new version as well. So yeah, that's one that I don't wear anymore, but I used to wear a whole lot, so I think it deserved a little spot in this video. And then the next one is kind of the same story. This is my Check Me Out vest by Made in the Moment. I used the durable double 4 yarn in this project. It's such a fun project. It was a lot of fun to make as well. Unfortunately, it just doesn't fit me anymore, so not one I wear anymore, but when this one still fitted me, I wore this a lot in the summer. So again, I think it deserved a little spot in this roundup. And yeah, that was all my most worn knitted items, or I guess also crochet. My most worn me-made items That's my bank-in because I just think it always deserves a spot in every video I do. Let me know which one was your favorite. If you've made any of these patterns before, let me know what you thought of it. And if you wear it a lot as well. And I guess if you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Feel free to subscribe if you want to see more of me. You can also follow me on Instagram, on Ravelry or on Threadloop. And I guess, without further ado, I will see you guys tomorrow.